More than a century ago in England, the name Jack the Ripper became a terrifying presence. It was a title given to a notorious assassin in London who spread unprecedented terror. His presence haunted the residents of Whitechapel, East End, and the City of London in 1888. He didn't just kill indiscriminately, but rather targeted a specific group, women involved in the world of prostitution. The enigmatic figure of Jack the Ripper has long been a mystery. This is due to the fact that his identity was never revealed to the public, and he managed to escape deserving punishment for his actions. This has had a tremendous impact, not only causing fear among many people but also evoking a sense of awe. As previously explained, Jack the Ripper's victims were women who worked in the nightlife. More specifically, they were impoverished prostitutes often found on the streets of Whitechapel. During the investigation, it was revealed that the murders by Jack the Ripper took place in the early morning or dawn on weekends. This led the police to speculate that the killer might be someone with weekday work responsibilities. The first murder occurred on August 31, 1888. He killed Mary Ann Nichols, who was last seen standing on Osborne Street corner in the early hours. Her lifeless body was discovered around 3:30 local time, not far from where she was last seen. Mary Ann Nichols' body was found with severe injuries to her throat, which appeared to be the result of deep and swift sharp cuts. Additionally, the victim had other wounds on her body, and there were indications that her abdomen had been torn open. The second victim of Jack the Ripper was Annie Chapman. Annie Chapman was a destitute woman involved in sex work. On September 8, 1888, she was found brutally murdered in the backyard of a building on Hanbury Street, Whitechapel. Her body was mutilated, with cuts to her throat and abdomen. This incident escalated the fear and anxiety among the people of Whitechapel and London, further shrouding the Jack the Ripper case in mystery. The third victim was Elizabeth Stride, and the fourth victim was Catherine Eddowes. A month later, on November 9, 1888, he killed Mary Jane Kelly in her own home. These 5 victims collectively became known as the Canonical Five. Jack the Ripper's murders shared common characteristics. The victims were brutally killed, with their faces disfigured, throats slashed from left to right, and mutilated. The murders also involved the removal of the victims' organs. In some cases, the victims' uteruses and hearts were taken. Organs were also scattered around the bodies. This brutality added to the terror caused by Jack the Ripper. Unlike organ theft, among serial killers, the removal of the victim's organs was considered a trophy of its own for the perpetrator. The origin of the name Jack the Ripper stems from a letter purportedly written by an individual who claimed to be the serial killer. In the letter, a detailed description was given of how the women were murdered, and it was revealed that the author intended to slice the victim's ears. Initially, the police did not take the letter seriously. However, 3 years later, Jack the Ripper committed 2 murders simultaneously and cut off one of the victim's ears. Another letter subsequently emerged, containing a confession that the author did not actually have time to cut off the victim's ears. The letter detailed a new murder that had not yet been reported in the newspapers. Not only letters, but a mysterious package was also sent to the Whitechapel security. Its content was discovered to be a kidney preserved in wine. Even more astonishingly, the kidney matched one of the murder victims whose kidney had been removed. The London police felt the need to take action against this series of gruesome murders. They launched an investigation that eventually led to 15 suspects, including one woman. However, the police were uncertain about the next steps to take. From this group of 15 suspects, the police eventually concluded that one of them, namely Aaron Kosminski, John Druitt, and Michael Ostrog, was likely the perpetrator behind these crimes. Each of them had different occupations. Ostrog was even known as a doctor. However, the common thread among them was their strong aversion to prostitution. There was even a conspiracy theory involving members of the royal family. Prince Albert Victor, the grandson of Queen Victoria, was reported to be a frequent patron of brothels in the East End. This led to speculation that one of the women working there might have been pregnant with the prince's child and attempted to blackmail the royal family. To prevent this threat and protect the royal reputation, a royal doctor was assigned to investigate the identity of the pregnant woman. The method involved surgical examination of the women's abdomens to collect evidence, including unborn fetuses. It was proven that the 5th victim, Mary Jane Kelly, was pregnant when she was murdered. However, the identity of Jack the Ripper was eventually revealed. This was unveiled after DNA testing was conducted on a blood-stained scarf found on the body of Catherine Eddowes. In 2007, a businessman named Russell Edwards acquired the scarf through an auction. Upon confirming that the scarf was found near Eddowes' body with blood stains, Edwards immediately contacted scientists to initiate further investigation. According to the scientists, Aaron Kosminski was Jack the Ripper. He was a 23-year-old Polish barber. The Polish immigrant lived with two brothers and a sister on Greenfield Street, just 200 meters away from the location of Elizabeth Stride's murder. So, among the three potential suspects, Aaron Kosminski, John Druitt, and Michael Ostrog, Kosminski is considered the most likely candidate to be Jack the Ripper.